Hello and welcome to this last episode in Series 2 of Urban Legend, the growing internet podcast, as opposed to other podcasts, about urban legend. As you know already, if you're a fan of the show, I am Labrador Detective Chris Flynn, and with me, as always, is the Hollywood special effects guru, Mr.
Neil Herbert.
Hi, Neil. So I think I should let people know this is the first time that we're recording it actually physically in the same room.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works out.
Yeah, unless you're tricking me with some sort of special effect, and
I may be a hologram appearing in your room.
You look more like animatronic, something like that. You're sort of slightly unhuman movements.
It's a mixture of puppetry and CGI in real time.
And the occult.
Yeah.
Yes, well, this isn't the first time, of course, we've been in a room together, is it, Neil? We have.
No, this is what, the third or fourth time?
Friends for 15 years.
Yes.
Yeah, very much an internet friendship. We met on a BBC football fan discussion page, of course.
Yeah, it was filled with such good conversation.
It was such a good conversation. Despite the fact we supported opposite teams, we stayed in touch. We used to chat on MSN Live.
Yeah.
And set up
hate mail and death threats back and forth.
Back and forth, like a seesaw. And set up our own Angel Fire website, which was both of our appreciations of the game show Strike It Lucky, and Michael Barrymore in general. Good times. So, I think, first of all, before we forget, we should talk about some of the films you've been the special effects guy on.
Started talking to Michael Barrymore. I invented the hotspot graphic. That was where I started. What is a hotspot not?
It's a good spot.
Yeah.
Hey, we all remember. I wonder if they had that in the States as well. I wonder if it was an American thing which you brought over, or was it a purely British game show?
I don't know.
So what happened is people went along. They could move a certain number of... So it's like they could walk along a certain number of spaces. There were 3 people. So kind of up some steps.
Yeah.
And they could walk along.
Production values, no expense spared.
And each step had a monitor on, like an old TV screen, with a button underneath. And when you hit the button, it would give you...
You might get a question. Might get a prize.
Cheeky
or you
prize.
might get a hotspot.
And what is a hotspot? Not Neil.
Not a good spot, Chris.
Not a good spot. I'm glad
you in your track.
Glad you remembered. Yeah, so, and then if you were the first to get to the end of the line...
Took home the big cash prize of like 50 quid or something.
Yeah. You got 50 quid and you survived.
This is back before you get viral fame out of these kind of things.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And you could get like a washing machine on your way.
Nowadays you'd get a reality TV show about yourself. You'd be on Love Island.
You'd get a book deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah, celebrity cleaners or whatever.
Yeah, celebrity cleavage.
Celebrity cosmetic surgeons.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. So after that, you're poached by... one of the Scott brothers, take her to Hollywood.
Tony Scott, the more confusing Scott.
Yeah.
He got me to do all that sort of juddery stuff on...
Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun. Yeah.
A nice one. And
I had to add a layer of kind of like CGI over Tom Cruise's performance to make it more lifelike.
Right. Make it more... I'm not going to get into it. He's very litigious. So, did you work with any other great directors?
I was going to work with Kubrick
on
AI, but sadly he passed before I was able to do that. So Steven Spielberg, that's not a bad replacement, is it?
That's not a bad replacement.
I did the CGI haircut on Jude Law. The robot love slave, or whatever he was in that film.
He was what?
Did you not seen AI?
Of course I fucking haven't.
So there's a little kid, and he's like a little animatronic fella, and he goes and meets, and Jude Law's like some sex robot.
Jude Law's a sex robot?
Yeah.
Oh. Explains his performance.
And he's got a very static haircut. He's got a lot of gel in that, and well, of course,
your CGI
my CGI wizardry.
Did you work? So your special effects are CGI and stuff, not like stunts and explosions.
Yeah. More on the CGI animatronic side of things.
Oh, okay. Animatronics, CGI animatronics. You know.
Yes.
So, do you have any involvement with the Muppets at all? Work-wise, I mean. Not like hanging out.
I can't disclose the information after the NDA that I signed and agreed. Let's just say something went badly wrong with Muppet movies. I'm not allowed to discuss the Muppets anymore.
You're not allowed to legally discuss the Muppets anymore.
I won't have a career.
Not allowed within 100 feet of Miss Piggy.
You don't cross Miss Peggy or Kermit, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, lovely. Well, thanks for giving...
Kermit never forgets.
Kermit never forgets. Blood in, blood out. Well, thanks for a little sight into Hollywood there. I know that the listeners would have enjoyed that.
It's a tough gig, Chris, but, pays the bills.
Well, it pays well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Don't want to get off that gravy boat.
Hollywood gravy boat. So, this is the last episode of Series 2.
Yeah.
How you feeling? How do you think it went?
I think it's been pretty good overall. I think we've uncovered a lot of...
Would you give it out of 10?
Well, I'll give it, we normally go in the middle of the bell curve, don't we? So I think we've gone up to a 6 this season.
You're going to a 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave it a 7.5 at the end of Series 1, really? So it's taking a downward turn for you.
Okay.
I'm going to go 7.5, so it's a 0.5 better for me.
I'll tell you what, no, I'm going to go for 7.6 then, in that case. 7.65.
Right. So not drastic improvements then.
It's small iterative improvements, By around, I think, on this trajectory, by around
36.
Yeah.
We might be getting a solid 8 out of 10.
200, yeah, we might actually get somewhere. So.
But I've enjoyed this. So I've enjoyed doing this series. I think there's been some good topics that I've personally enjoyed.
I think we've uncovered a lot of things that people won't have heard of, so that's good.
Silver Pele was a standout for me.
Yeah, I know you enjoyed Pele's TV performance.
Oh, Pele's TV performances have been a standout. Have you? He's up for an Oscar, of course, this time round.
Yeah, who would have thought it?
Because they've put all the they're trying to get down with the kids and add the new topics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they've had to.
Kids going mad about Pele.
Kids are mad for Pele. Yeah, so he's up for Best Actor. Which can be actor or actress, but actress doesn't exist because it's non-gender specific. So he's up for Best Actor. It's Pele. So it's for the kids, obviously. Yeah. So it's Pele, Ray Ramone from
Ray Romano.
Ray Romano, yeah. Kids
they all love Raymond, don't they?
They all love him.
As per his hit sick.
Everybody loves Raymond.
In the 90s, what was that? It was early aughts.
Yeah. Got George Lazenby.
Yeah, George Lazenby.
He's one of them.
Dug him up in front of a camera. Yeah. It's amazing what you can do again with animatronics these days.
Well, exactly.
Death is no barrier to a successful career in Hollywood anymore.
Absolutely not.
And just quite right too.
And Rodney Dangerfield. So, for the kids. Like, I can't. What was one of his one-liners?
Oh, I get no respect.
Yeah. No respect. No respect at all. Lovely. So, for this final episode of the series, we're going for quite a large one. We're going for, well, I say large, a lot of people have heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much there is there.
I've heard of it, and that's very rare. So,
So, we're going for the urban myth / legend of Bloody Mary.
Doing it in that voice, it's got to be a good one.
Bloody Mary. And of course, the hangover drink.
Yes.
A Bloody Mary.
Not a fan of Bloody Marys, to be honest with you.
I don't really...
Cold tomato juice, not my thing.
Nah.
I've tried.
I love putting vodka in my passata. Yeah. when I'm making a bolognese.
When I heat that up and turn it into ragu for me, I'm sure we get on famously. But,
a nice boozy ragu.
Yeah. Oh.
Whoa, gorgeous. So, as is our want, I'm going to have a look at what Wikipedia has to say.
Yeah, going to read the Wikipedia entry, Chris.
I don't always. Well, I could not. It's up to you now. You're in the room now. You can physically stop me.
I've been getting up, Chris.
Right.
This is a low effort podcast, as people would have worked out by now.
Yeah, low effort. Oh no, No, I'm not going to do
That's
that.
just because we want to reserve our energy for,
Oh yeah, we're going out for an end of series meal, aren't we?
We certainly are. Yeah, nice Turkish meal.
Nice Turkish meal. So, all right, I'm not going to go through Wikipedia.
I see Mirror World blog here, Chris.
Mirror, welcome to the Mirror Kingdom. So, Mirror World blog.
Is this mirror-based people?
It's product news, design ideas, and inspirations. I'm not sure if I'm on the right website.
I mean, hey.
So I wonder if this is under like their T's and C's. Do they legally have?
One thing we don't recommend is calling forward Candyman or Bloody Mary.
This is
using our mirrors.
A beautiful Georgian mirror, Georgian effect mirror, Georgian style.
Will it summon semi-mythical creatures from beyond the veil?
Will lighten up any hallway. T's and C's. Do not use to summon things. We will not be held liable if you cause death or injury by summoning creatures from beyond. I don't know, from the Mirror Kingdom.
That's how they get you with the T's and C's, isn't it?
That
One of those. You click one of those things, just like reams and reams of text. Nobody reads all of that, Chris.
So Neil, I know that you love it when I read stuff out. You get to be an audience of one here. It must feel like a real treat for you.
It is. It's one of the highlights of my weekend, Chris.
Is it like being in a room with Sir Ian McKellen?
In some ways.
Do you want me to put my trousers back on?
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Yes, it's all about the process. It's all about the process, dear boy. Okay, so this is from Mirror World. It's your one-stop shop for product news, design ideas, and inspiration.
And urban legends.
Hey,
why not?
Posted on October.
That was how the intern lost his job.
It's like that.
None of the rest of us knew how to take articles down for the blog. That's what you're going to do.
It's like that. It's like that scene on The Simpsons where Lisa...
We're not selling any fucking Georgian mirrors at all anymore. What's going on?
Lisa Simpson thinks she's dying and she goes on to the... Like she hijacks the news or something. And she's going, beauty's all around you, go out. And the guy's going, right, I'll get her off. And the director's like, no, let her speak. I'm trying to get fired. Right. Okay, here we go. Mirror myths. The tales of Bloody Mary. If you weren't sure about buying a mirror, I just like looking in the back of a spoon when I do my hair.
Is this going to be our first advertorial that we've used the research program?
Let's just say there may or may not have been some money exchanged by mirrorworld.co.uk to us, which might be paying for our meal.
I just love the products.
Oh, the product? What about the prices and service?
Oh, that's the icing on the cake. I mean, I'd pay twice as much for one of those mirrors.
Oh, luckily you don't have to. Not with mirrorworld.co.uk. I should say that none of that has happened. No one's ever sponsored us and never will. And actually, if anything, we are...
We're going to be sent a bill.
We're going to be invoiced.
Yeah.
Candyman, 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 Candyman. I dare you say his name 5 times.
Well, you've just done it.
Yeah, but not into a beautiful Art Deco mirrorworld.com.uk mirror. That's $29.99. Countless mirror myths and legends have sprung up over the years. The tales of Bloody Mary is one of the strangest.
Is that countless or are there 2? There's Bloody Mary and Candyman.
Depends how high you can count, right?
I don't know. I suspect there's more. Not that I know of, but
I know. Yeah, no, there is. I remember having a book about ghosts and stuff when I was a kid, and I've tried to find it, but I can't. So if anyone knows where it is, let me know. But there's a place in Germany. There's a really old house, and there's meant to be a haunted mirror there. And if you see a green person, like period dress, they go and turn up in the mirror instead of your reflection, then you die within a week or something.
Oh, okay. Mm. You don't even have to call it out.
No, it just appears. It's just a portent of your death.
So do you think it actually affects your death, or it's just like, just letting you know? She's giving you, a week to settle your affairs. It's just doing you a favour, to be honest with you.
Tapping his watch.
Somebody's coming soon.
Someone better get your affairs in order, buddy.
I wouldn't worry about that exam anymore. ain't going to be a problem.
Then just like everyone who lives in that house goes out and goes mental for a week before their death. Just spends all their money on, I don't know, cocaine, whatever.
Whatever they might enjoy.
So, I mean, look, I'm not suggesting that the people who live in that house are Robert the Doll style staff members. I'm not suggesting that. Right, so, Campus Mirror Myths. So many of you would have heard the story. It's become so famous over the years that the film Candyman was created based around the fable. So I heard of the Candyman one when I was in school, but I don't know whether that was because of... When did the film come out?
Film came out early 90s, I'd say 91, 92. Not entirely sure.
Oh, okay, so it could be
quite
because
an early
of the
one.
film.
Yeah, no,
I remember people doing it in school.
Yeah,
school toilet.
Because Candyman was... Well, actually, it was based on a novel by... I forget the guy's name. It was an English horror writer. Philip Barker or something?
Right.
I can't remember his name, but he wrote a load of horror stories. He's had a few films made out of him. He did like... what's the one with a cube and demons come out of it? Hellraiser. He wrote the book that was Hellraiser as well, and some other bits and pieces.
God, he's a pretty strange guy.
Oh, tell you what.
Well, I wouldn't like to meet him
Terrifying
in a
king
dark
of horror.
cul-de-sac. So... The original story is something of an urban legend which has turned into a truth or dare game that's been played at sleepovers and the like on countless occasions. Bloody Mary's famous ghost can apparently be summoned to appear using a mirror. Like this, hyperlink to.
Yeah.
The variety of reasons for this. Mary was Henry III... Jesus.
Henry VIII, I think you might be...
Henry VIII's first daughter, and so experienced a vast amount of death during her childhood. Also, history tells us that she developed something of a penchant for blood and violence herself. She hated the Catholics, didn't she? We know that much.
Yeah, I mean, Henry VIII, that's not going to be the most stable home environment, is it? It's kind of, where's Mum? Oh, I've got some bad news.
Which one? Yeah. Where's stepmom? This in addition to her supposed infatuation with herself, love of mirrors, and her ghost child, leave her as a prime candidate for the origins of the Bloody Mary legend. Plus, through her relentless quest to return England to Roman Catholicism and subsequent unremitting burning of Protestants, she had garnered the nickname Bloody Mary for herself during her lifetime. So she liked Catholics.
No, she was... Yeah, so actually, if I recall, she was the daughter he had of the first... So originally, like everyone was Catholic in Europe, obviously, the Reformation came about.
Yeah, then we...
So he wanted to get a divorce from the Pope. The Pope wouldn't give it to him.
Church of England.
Yeah, so then they formed the Church of England and the Reformation. So yeah, I think she was the first child by his first wife.
But her and Elizabeth I had different...
She had a different mother. So,
no, not mother. They had different beliefs. Daughter. So one of them was Catholic and one of them was Protestant.
Yeah, so he married... Well, basically, it's a weird one. So he married... So his brother died. Mm. He married his brother's wife. Mm-hmm. I can't remember her name now, but I think it was Catherine of Spain. But that was
Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah, it could be. I can't remember, but so they had a daughter, and obviously he wanted a son, didn't he? And that was what he was obsessed with, and that was the whole thing. So he then got divorced, married Anne Boleyn. They had Elizabeth, but she couldn't give him a son, so then he cut her head off, and then I can't remember. I think Catherine Parr or whatever after that, and gave him a son.
Right. But basically, she was the Catholic Elizabeth.
Well, she'd been brought up to believe in the sort of because I mean, bear in mind everyone we became a bit like Brexit, innit? We became we decided to get fucked over with Europe yet again and make enemies. So I imagine he's not particularly popular with the rest of the European nobility at this point.
I feel bad because
the Pope, he's certainly not happy.
On a previous episode about the big grey man of Cairngorm, you were right. That is the second highest peak in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what the fuck Snowden's all about. because you hear about it all the time. I think it might be the tallest in England and Wales, but not.
Oh, that might be it.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I'm sick of all this. I reckon we should. I reckon the Kingdom of Wessex should leave the United Kingdom.
Well, like Tim the Yowie Man, I'm gonna change my name to Neil the Pigman and just start slagging off mountains. It's confusing, aren't they?
Good.
Is it a hill or a mountain? I don't know.
So
I call it a mountain.
Oh, no, it's just a
bit of dirt in your garden.
It's just a reverse valley. Right. So, together with the principal myth of Bloody Mary comes the myth of her ghost baby, which is said to have to originate from a failure to have children.
Oh, okay, yeah, and I think she was married to like French royalty as well. So yeah, because there was a whole thing at the time. Because obviously you had, I think after he died, there was like massive upheaval between Catholics and Protestants for quite a while after that.
I've just seen how this article finishes. Perfect. So she was supposedly pregnant twice, both times looking as if she was with child for 9 months. Despite this, she never had a baby. She gave birth to 2 rumours. One, that she had lied, or 2, that the baby was a ghost. Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Ghost
Occam's razor, you'd probably go for the first. But
no.
There must have been immense pressure in those days to produce an heir. So it would be, it's pretty horrific. It would have gone through. But, and
there's nothing you can do about it. It's just your physiology.
The ghost baby, I like that.
So,
why not?
These rumours were the part of the legend dictating that if you say, I took your baby 3 times into a mirror, that's cruel, sprang from. I've never heard that. It's also said that the mirror represents the Queen's documented narcissism. Though through this, her soul became trapped in a mirror, and she's always looking for a way to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
There are a variety of ways you're meant to be able to bring Bloody Mary out of the mirror. These range from walking up the stairs in the dark, backwards, while holding a candle in a hand mirror, saying her name 3 times, while staring into a mirror in a dark room.
Do you can get Henry VIII out of a mirror? You get hold up a bit of roast swan leg or something. hey, grubs up, Henry.
Come on, Henry. Got some mead
there.
there.
Vailer as well, yeah, with a bit of mead. Don't mind if I do.
It's just Brian Blessed.
Yeah. Which would be superior to Boris Johnson at this point, wouldn't it?
Preferably
animated Henry VIII, yeah.
Whichever method is used, she is said to appear with a thirst for vengeance upon whomsoever was unfortunate or silly enough to summon her. She can appear as a corpse, a ghost, a witch, or a woman covered in blood. She can then go on to exact revenge in a myriad ways. Strangulation, blood drinking, and eye gouging are purported to be the most common.
Can I go for the blood drinking?
You can go for blood drinking.
If I've got to go, if you want to drink some blood, that's fine. If you don't want to strangle me or gouge my eyes out,
she won't be drinking our blood.
Well, no. Oh yeah, because we drink your blood. Oh yeah. I think I'd still prefer that to an eye gouge or a strangulation.
Yeah, I mean, but to be honest,
how much blood is she wanting to drink?
Well, we've got a lot of blood.
Yeah,
and I would.
You can have half the pint, that's fine.
And I would say, in medical terms, it's bad blood.
Yeah.
So I would suggest that it would. She'd die before we would.
Yeah, that's quite close. I wouldn't bother at all.
It's not really. Oh, it's rich. Oh, bloody hell!
Good lord,
it's got a layer of fat over it.
And I come from tuna times. You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing here?
Oh God!
Christ!
God, I'm getting a tobacco headache. Oh, God. It's the consistency of double cream. Or she can follow you until you die a horrible death. If she's feeling lazy.
Do you think she brings it about or just waits until she'd be like that French old lady who just like died about 130. She's like, oh fucking hell, God. Pontificating for the last 80 years.
It is told that she will only retreat into the mirror once the person who summoned her is dead. So that's both black and white.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to have fixated very much on the fact that it's Bloody Mary or the original because there was a Mary Queen of Scots as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
It was a different kind of official together. I seem to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because she got executed by Elizabeth, I think. But
and that's why she was called Bloody Mary.
No, that was a different Mary.
Yeah, no, but that's why she.
Yeah.
Mary Queen of Scots is also a Bloody Mary. There's a lot of Bloody Marys about. So Neil, let me just wrap up by saying, personally, I don't believe it. But next time you're looking into a stunning Mirror World mirror, my advice is not to tempt fate, just in case. Lovely. So thank you very much, Mirror World.
I mean, what you've done there, Mirror Salesman, is you focus more on
the death part,
on raising the dead element of mirror rather than making the room larger, bringing light in. The aesthetic considerations.
You focus too much.
Focused exclusively
on the necromancy part of it, and not the decorative part.
But,
interesting sales tactic.
Look, our sales in the goth community are through the floor. What are we going to do about this?
So that's one instance of who she might be. Now I believe that you found another person who she might be, a different Mary.
It's not actually a Mary. But some people have claimed it could be Elizabeth Bathory.
Right, are you going to read about her?
I've read. So actually, I know a bit about this story. So I'm going to have a look.
You don't know off the top of your head.
I could know quite a bit actually. So, well, actually, no, I say that. No, I don't. Let's not test that. 10 seconds in, it goes really badly wrong. So, but no. So yeah, she's kind of a fascinating character. I know a few things, sort of like something. I mean, because Elizabeth Bathory is quite famous in her own right, and was again a historical figure. So she was a Hungarian noblewoman.
Okay.
And it's not. I don't know if they fully proved it, but I think it's fairly nailed on that she was a pretty bad serial killer. And in those days, to be honest with you, killing peasants,
good way to get to the top.
Not a problem. Well, no, it's just because she already kind of was on the top, I think. So she was.
But you've got to stay on top, which is harder.
So that, she literally, I think, killed. Well, they more than 80, up to 650.
Is she the one who bathed in it?
Bathed in their blood. This is
got to keep your skin nice.
Well, exactly. I tell you what, it's a great moisturising agent. The blood of innocent. Keeps you looking young.
Is that how you keep so young looking?
Well, exactly. Yeah, keeps the four humours aligned. I very much follow Galen's medical theories.
Fair enough.
You've got to follow the classics. Where are we going to be without them?
Is that why you're currently bleeding yourself over my?
Well, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, it just annoys me. You walk into a surgeon barbers these days, and they're offering you a haircut. Well, come on, where's the lancet?
I want to be a castrati.
Yeah. No. Just
I want my son to be in the opera.
Just relieve me of 3 or 4 ounces of blood, please. when I balance my humours. No. I'll give you a shake.
I've just drunk a pint of bile.
Oh, we've all been there. But yeah, so she was basically accused of torturing and killing hundreds of girls and women who'd come to work in the castle. So they'd have servants come in.
I mean, after a while, wouldn't the agency stop sending people?
You would think, wouldn't you? I think things worked a little bit different in the 17th century. Okay. So, because I just imagine it sort of got to that point where. Even the neighbours were finding it a little bit embarrassing. I mean, the thing we've all killed a few servants, Liz. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's fair enough. Accidents happen. Wink, wink. A whole village, really? I mean, because I think some people do say actually. So there is
Budapest, really?
Yeah. Oh, what Ceausescu's. They'd be. Because I think some people have said that it could just be kind of like, it could have been like a witch hunt, and it could have been that all the charges they put against her were actually, or people have come back afterwards and said that they thought it might have been, lies. But and who knows how much of the stuff is salacious, but supposedly, she bathed in the blood of virgins to retain her youth, drank blood and all of this sort of stuff. And there's quite a few people who think, I know Blood the Impalers people normally talk about, but she was... It inspired Bram Stoker with Dracula a bit as well, supposedly. Effectively just a really, really effective serial killer. And because it got a bit embarrassing.
I mean, you say effective serial killer. I kind of feel like in whenever it was 16th century Hungary, I mean, just the willingness to be a serial killer was enough to be a serial killer, because it's not like the police were up.
Well, no, you're a neighbour. You can pretty much.
Well, they wouldn't have had a police force.
But I tell you what, nobody's. Well, you know, you can only play against what the opposition is at the time, Chris. I tell you what, not, you know,
100
I
nil.
mean, Shipman did all right, but he's not posting those kind of numbers. Do you know what I mean?
Well, pretty fucking clear. No, near that, wasn't it, Shipman?
Oh yeah, probably. Sadly,
it was. Yeah, he was like over 100, and that was in modern times. So,
yeah,
you know, well played, I guess. Well done.
Yeah.
You know, fair play to the lads.
Well, I don't agree with what he did, but you know, he had a goal and he stuck to it, and he just
you know, yeah, exactly.
It just got, you know, you got to take. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, looking at this stuff, Chris, you got, you know.
I can't be the only person. I can't be the only person who finds ambition attractive.
Why don't you use that kind of focus to think about how you could do good things to the world? But yeah, so effectively, supposedly she killed hundreds and hundreds of servants. It got to a point where the nobility is starting to get a little bit kind of like embarrassed by all of this, because you know, you end up with a riot on your hands. So they just
it's a fairly
tell you what, you're not going out anymore, Elizabeth. So they just basically walled her up in her castle, and you know, that's
what. But it's like in Brassai when they send the paedophile into space.
Oh God, yeah.
Like they walled her up in the castle with 100 girls.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the one thing we didn't want to happen.
Look, what, she's not going to cook her own dinner, is she?
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you what, though, you're not having any more servants there, Elizabeth. You eat all of them. You're not going to be cooking any more dinner. Oh, fine. So yeah, she was either walled up in a room in the castle, or they just kind of like basically put her under effectively house arrest. But yeah, and some people reckon it was. But yeah, basically got to, you know, carry on living in her castle and
that's all right, isn't it?
Doing
house arrest.
Yeah,
gave her an ankle bracelet.
But, you know, cut down on the servant deaths a bit. So you know,
a bit
job done. Yeah, and then became, you know, I mean, how much of the you know, the things about bathing in blood and stuff like that is just spurious accounts that came up afterwards. You know, we don't know. Probably a lot of that was fictional, was added afterwards. But yeah, it seems fairly likely that she was
just a nutter, right? Yeah. A serial killer.
And hey, you know, telling you about records. Bathory has been labelled by the Guinness World Records as the most prolific female murderer, although the number of her victims is debated. Now,
it's like Pele and golf.
Yeah. So
like Pele and serial killing.
Hang on a minute, Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
So when I claimed that I'd, you know, lifted the world's heaviest weights, they're telling me there's got to be an independent arbitrator there to determine that.
Yeah.
So where is your Guinness World of Records lad out checking how many people have been properly killed by Elizabeth Bathory?
Well, they're just that, aren't they? I mean, have you seen the
Guinness
Book of World Records
just
these days? It's not like it was in the 80s, when it was a serious thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, very.
You know, how many milk crates you could balance on your neck, that kind of thing. It's not like that anymore. They're kind of gone razzmatazz. They're trying to compete with, you know, Please Believe It or Not and all that kind of shit. Pathetic. They've let themselves down. They've let this country down. They've let the drink of Guinness down.
How is Guinness associated to Guinness? It's just like a.
It's like the Michelin star thing. That was basically because
Michelin people were riding around in their cars, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Michelin tyre company.
Nice meal.
Yeah, they started putting restaurants which were nice on there and giving them stars, and then that sort of became a thing. So Guinness, essentially.
People got bored of the tyre reviews, of course, because they were very pro Michelin, 5 stars out of 5 every year, and everyone else 1 star out of 5. So.
And not very delicious.
No. Good logo though, eh? Well, the little mascot fella.
Yeah, big lad.
Yeah, big tyre boy.
Big tyre boy. I believe that's his name. Yeah. So now I found something in Thoughts Catalogue, which is the website we use to get the true account of someone doing the elevator game.
Ah. Well, that worked out well.
So this I've got here 13 blood curdling encounters. People who've definitely true accounts. People have definitely
done this, definitely seen something.
and have definitely written it.
I did it and nothing happened.
Neil, Sussex. That isn't blood curdling, though, is it?
No, that's true.
I did it, and all I saw was how my face is aging.
Yeah, that was pretty blood curdling.
Blood curdling. Right. So
are these in kind of like order of blood curdliness, or?
I don't know. They're just there.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's dive in and find out what we can.
What you're seeing here is all I've seen of it.
I've seen something in bold. All of a sudden, a face pops up in the mirror, so that's a promising start.
Yeah. I know there's a little thing
there's a gif of like a
little gif.
scary looking woman in a nightgown with a bloody old face.
So, me and my friend did Bloody Mary a while ago. We flushed the toilet and said Bloody Mary 3 times. All of a sudden, a face popped up in the mirror.
Oh no.
My friend was so scared, she couldn't breathe. I slapped her in the face and she ran out. I was there all alone. I was scared of what was going to happen next. I tried to run out, blood, but the door wouldn't even open, even though it was unlocked. She was holding it. She was back into the mirror. I saw her with a baby. She threw it at me and I didn't catch it. It disappeared. I turned on the light and there was blood on the mirror. I had red marks on my face and so did my friend, even though she wasn't even there. It was so creepy. I still have that red mark. So does she. We can only see it in the mirror though when we turned out the lights. And the weird thing is no one but us can see it.
Oh, it's an interesting accent you've gone for. That was a blood-curdling reading for various reasons. But, yeah.
It was just a London Ute.
That's so that's a red. Oh, okay. So it's a permanent red mark.
So they did it in the toilet. They said
I had a similar experience of red mark on my face. A friend decided to crack open a bottle of Jack Daniels for most of that, and then I went face first to the carpet. Had a lovely carpet
burn on the forehead.
On my forehead, yeah.
And
fortunately, it went away.
And you kind of tried to deflect from it by just saying that you'd had some really rough sex on the weekend.
Well, yeah, it's fine. Nobody questioned me after that.
Absolutely. Although you're tutor,
I mean, maybe I summoned Bloody Mary. I don't know. We were quite out of it.
So, number 2. We saw a scary as hell woman looking out of the mirror at us. There was 3 of us girls in the bathroom at 3 a.m. I chanted Bloody Mary 13 times.
Oh, a lucky number.
Well, even though it's meant to be 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
13 times at almost exactly 3 a.m. As I said Bloody Mary about the 12th time. We saw smoke swirl around in the mirror, and we saw a scary as hell old woman looking out of the mirror at us. We all 3 screamed, and I think Gail turned the lights on. Bloody Mary vanished almost at once, and Gail's mother came running into the bathroom to see what the fuck was going on. I've had a fuck. She made us all go to bed, but we stayed awake until daylight because we knew what we'd seen. That's by Sarah. The first one was by Anonymous, the hacking collective.
Yeah, the entirety of Anonymous.
And that was the voice I was doing.
Yeah.
It was an amalgam of every voice of Anonymous. So, what do you think of that, Neil?
I mean, it's unverified, I'll say that much. Yeah, well, as you pointed out, 13 times. So it's supposed to be 5 times, isn't it? Although it seems to be that there's different things you can say. And I mean, Bloody Mary's not a sticker for rules, clearly.
No.
And the thing is, that's the equivalent of just
well, in the first one, she
carrying on knocking on the door, isn't
so,
it?
Like Jackson style.
Don't go over the back.
Like a basketball pass from the chest. Think quick.
Go on, catch.
Right, number 3. We all started praying that it would all stop.
I mean, I'll tell you this much, everyone who plays this game.
Don't start praying to God now. You're messing with the occult. He's turned his back on you.
Yeah, he's got no interest. We'll see how it pans out, shall we? Yeah. Survive till the morning, come back and we'll have a word.
Get yourself down fucking church.
Got my lad on the cross, die for your sins. Then getting up to this palaver.
This malarkey.
Get the fuck out.
What you fucking get it? Good, yeah. We chanted Bloody Mary 3 times and nothing happened. So we just laughed it off and turned the lights on. We were lying on the floor, getting ready to go to bed.
You just suddenly popped out the mirror.
We were lying on the floor, getting ready to go to bed. Weird.
Or maybe some of them were sleeping on the floor or something, I don't know.
Maybe.
Like a friend's bedroom or something.
When we heard someone walking up and down the hallway.
Oh.
And we knew we were the only ones home. That's spooky, isn't it? Unknown noises.
That burglar from the Licky Hand story.
Hello.
He's not that big about killing people, he's more dogs.
Not dogs can lick too.
Yeah.
Then I saw the hall light come on and my bathroom door flew open. And the tap started running full force and the shower came on. My friend Macy went and turned everything off and suddenly it was calm.
No, what you got there, girl, is a poltergeist, not a Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary throw baby at you, give you red mark. Now, you got a poltergeist there is what you got.
It's just that bloke who goes around going, yeah, that's just the water pressure, that door needs a plane. Then we heard someone drumming their fingers.
You know washers are supposed to be removed on a regular basis and replaced, don't you? You do know that, don't you?
On my door outside in the hall. We all held our hands up to show we weren't doing it and kept going. It ain't me. I jumped up and flung the door open. It stopped. And then my closet door burst open. We started praying that it would all stop and suddenly it did. Cheers, Jesus. Nothing has happened to me since and I'm so glad. That's by Nikki with an I and 2 Ks. Maybe she's from Mortal Kombat. Who knows?
That'd be good.
So that does sound like a portal. You tell me you got a poltergeist. Don't know what you ain't no Bloody Mary.
You didn't turn on showers.
The door's flinging open and that. It's not in the mirror.
If the showers were like leaking blood, I could see that being one of them.
Well, blood being part of her noon to plum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number 4. We saw an old woman with cuts on her face. I was 9 when me and my friends tried to win Bloody Mary at my house one weekend. As well as I remember, there were 5 of us, and we carried my mum's candles into the upstairs bathroom, and all 5 of us were chanting Bloody Mary.
As you do.
We saw an old woman with cuts upon her face and chains round her neck and shoulders looking out the mirror at us. Then the shower curtain went up in flames, and we ran out bathroom. An older boy ran into the bathroom and looking for us, he put the fire out.
Hang on a second, so they set fire to the bathroom?
No, it burst into flames, the shower curtain.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
We all got in big trouble for it, and the parents thought we'd caught the shower curtain on fire with the candles. No, sounds likely. But
I'm believing.
But we had the candles at least 6 foot from the shower curtain when it suddenly went up in flames. I know that for a fact that we did not touch the shower curtain with the candles. Next question, Katie.
So Bloody Mary's got a lot of moves, hasn't she?
Yeah.
You know, set fire to your shower curtain. I mean, it was quite pranksy stuff, but...
yeah, it's nice though, isn't it?
Do you think she's just kind of sick of getting disturbed?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're coming with some like, genuine business, you know...
I mean...
Listen to what you got to say. It's just constantly fucking snotty kids.
I mean, you've got to be really, really sick. I mean, like, you've got to be... straw that broke the camel's back to chuck your baby at someone.
Yeah. Just honestly,
fuck off!
Fucking had it.
Number 5. I could see it coming closer and closer to me. I saw a black object in the mirror. The object was closer to me now, and I was wondering what the object was. I stared at it for the longest time to make out what it was. I looked behind me again to see nothing was there. I looked back in the mirror and the object was closer. It's like that thing with the cat, where that's like someone puts the camera out and the cat's like there, and then hides the camera and then puts it out again, and the cat's like in the same position but closer because the cat's like stalking them, because cats are really
Yeah.
the reactions, they just like freeze.
Freeze as soon as I'm feeling it.
Maybe it's that. I got scared and started to move back, and I could see it was coming closer and closer to me. Then a hand came out of the mirror, and then the hole up. I got scared. I closed my eyes quickly and screamed, feeling for the light switch. I kept feeling around for it, too scared to open my eyes, knowing that a horrible, ugly face was staring at me. I have never been that scared in my whole life, and I was glad I didn't open my eyes. I'm never going into a dark bathroom ever again. That's by Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, she's not really doing anything.
She hasn't summoned it.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, I don't know.
This is just an unwanted.
She just saw an object in the mirror, and then just
and then a hand came out of the mirror.
Yeah.
So mirrors, I get. So you know the whole J horror, The Ring.
Yes.
And like stuff coming out of the telly.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a modern version of stuff coming out of the mirror, isn't it? Really?
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Come out of TikTok now, tiny little Samara pulling out your phone. It's less terrifying, it's more adorable.
It's number 6. Do you have any more thoughts on that one?
No, it's kind of, it's...
I mean, I don't know. Closing your eyes seems like, fight or flight, do you know what I mean? Like,
probably get out of the
bathroom. Fight, flight or freeze.
Yeah. Something comes out of the mirror, I'm getting out of that bathroom.
Yeah, probably with your eyes open, so, to
get out of the house.
Getting killed.
You can have
Getting out of the house?
Mirror.
Yeah. I just get used to it. It's like with lockdown, I just kind of, because I've never really liked spiders, but by the end of lockdown, I kind of felt a kindred spirit with the spiders in my house. Now I don't mind them. I was talking to them and stuff because obviously I was going mad. Number 6, she won't tell us what happened. Ooh. My friends had a slumber party and they...
so they also do it in the bathroom?
Yeah, because that's where mirrors are, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, I'm just sort of thinking people have a mirror in their room or whatever, but yeah, you're right.
We're not all as vain as you, Neil.
That's true. I do love looking at myself.
Mirrored ceiling. My friend had a slumber party and they dared her to do Bloody Mary. Go in the bathroom, turn off the light, light a candle, chant Bloody Mary 13 times, and she will appear. But for about 50 minutes, nothing happened. Then we heard her scream and she tried to get out of the bathroom. The door was stuck, but it didn't have a fucking lock.
The bathroom door didn't have a lock?
No, we're pretty open in our family.
That's I don't know what that's saying about that household, but anyway, we'll get into that.
When we got her out, she was crying and whimpering like a madman. We asked her what happened. She showed us her arms, and there were scars there that had never been there before. So, quick heal.
How many would you say, Chris? Tons? About 20?
I would say tons of them. Like 20 scars. Excitement point. A few days later, they disappeared. She won't tell us what happened or what she saw when we asked her about it. She just looks at us in a hateful way. Ooh.
I'll be honest with you, Kelsey,
chilling.
I'd probably stop bringing it up.
Yeah. Stop banging on about it.
20 skulls,
Here we go, Neil. Here's one which we can all get behind. The most horrible smell of rotting flesh.
Oh, dear.
I and some friends were over at my grandma's house when we all went into the bathroom where we had several candles burning. Several girls were chanting Bloody Mary in the bathroom when there was a brilliant flash of light and we all saw a very old, scary woman that looked like her flesh was rotting off, standing there in the bathroom with us. So not in the mirror.
Grandma was just trying to have a fucking shower. Right?
Senile grandma. You could smell the most horrible smell of rotting flesh there in that bathroom. And then the old woman was gone. I know from then on I was scared to go back in that bathroom. For about 4 months later, my friend Amber wrecked her new car. She kept telling her mum and dad that that Bloody Mary was there in her car with her just before she wrecked it. That's great.
I mean, I think we're using Bloody Mary to excuse a few bit of behaviours, aren't we? Oh, crashed your car, burnt down your shower curtain. Oh, it's Bloody Mary.
Got me pregnant.
She started coming out of the wing mirrors or whatever. That's the one you was looking.
And Bloody Mary had grabbed the steering wheel and caused her to wreck. Just a short time later, Amber was found drowned in the bathroom upstairs in her parents' house.
What?
Maybe mentioned that earlier. I know that I've always wondered if Bloody Mary killed Amber. I promise you it's a true story. It still scares me, Cindy. It tends to be mainly girls that do this.
It does seem to be, and I'll tell you what. Either Cindy or the sub-editor who come with that don't leave with the smell of rotting flesh when her friend drowned in the fucking bathroom a few weeks later.
I'm just looking. There's only one from a man. A man.
We might want to kind of. Are there any that look a bit different here? So.
Why are you finding me reading the same story over and over again boring, despite my different voices?
Well, it's interesting where she seems to go on the road in a few ones. So the number 9, I think, that seems to come in the car as well. Or was it number 8? Sorry. Let's have a look. Start to
We were in an experimental mood. Yeah, well, it's in a gas station.
Oh, they tried it in a gas. Oh, okay. They're doing one on the road.
Yes.
Well, see that's bad because then you're summoning it, and I'm just trying to have a piss in the corner, and then you're bringing me into your shenanigans.
My friend and I were in an experimental mood.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
So
pull over at the gas station bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we decided to try the Bloody Mary version that I'd heard most often. We stopped at a gas station that had an outdoor restroom and asked if we could use it. That's basically just pissing in an alley, isn't it?
You would think.
We went into it and turned off the lights, splashed water onto the mirror and spun around. It was then the psychedelics really started to kick in.
I think a lot of these people were on PCP.
Yeah. Or mushrooms or something.
Yeah, something.
We said Bloody Mary 3 times. Then my friend turned and flushed the toilet while I stared into the mirror. Unbeknownst to me, from what I could see of my reflection in the dark, it started turning into a bright red blob. In amazement, I kept staring. Then my friend started screaming, and we ran out of the door in terrible fright. When I could see her face, it was all bloody, like how I saw myself in the mirror. Then we cleaned her off. She had small fingernail-type scratches all over her face.
I mean, yet again...
Scratch, scratch.
Scratch, scratch. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I'll take a scratching.
Yeah, I mean, it's
better than being dead, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little scratch.
But I just kind of think, well, what's Bloody Mary's endgame here? But then again, I do think they are summoning her, so, you kind of just want to put people off, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice one by Amanda. We'll say this is the final one. And it's simply called Don't Open That Portal.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Carry on, don't open that portal.
If you're tempted, don't play the forces of darkness. That's the common thread through Samuel.
Yeah, man.
The elevator game, not only is it, disrespectful to the other tenants of the building, but you're going to open a portal to hell. So,
Well, it's not to hell, is it? It's to Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Skinnerverse.
Yeah.
It's just to a different dimension,
like
right?
Skinner dimension, yeah.
Different dimension. No, that's not hell.
That's all right. I've just watched too many of those kind of like cliched movies where the alternative dimension is generally hell type thing.
Yeah, I mean, life shades of grey now. It's not black and white.
That's true, yeah.
It's just a different dimension. Some things better, some things worse. A lot more Skinnered, better.
As Milton taught us, even Satan's got
big red cross in the sky, worse.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts. Tell you what, the economy's doing well.
They're doing very well,
Not like us.
They've got a.
Rishi's not popular anymore, is he?
They've got a social living wage as well.
Oh. Universal basic income,
So
I mean, the hellscape and the red sky does put people off a little bit, but we like to think it keeps the riffraff out. It's judged by appearances and fuck off.
Exactly. If Brighton had big Red Cross and a hellscape, we wouldn't have had so many pricks moving down here and getting all the live music venues shut.
Yeah. Actually buy a house.
Yeah. I am a 29-year-old woman named Amanda. Is that good? Good woman's voice? I'm going for it.
Okay.
I played Bloody Mary. I played Bloody Mary as a young girl.
Much like I would advise against something Bloody Mary, I'd advise against it. But...
Age 12. Nothing happened, or so I thought. I opened a portal and allowed demons of witchcraft into my soul. I underwent an exorcism. It failed. My life has been a living hell ever since. I became addicted to drugs. Just so I can deal with my own murderous mind. I suffer from extreme mental problems now. The demons are speaking in tongues all the time now. I have to be careful about getting mad because they take control. My husband is being haunted by my demons now.
I mean, I'd probably go and seek some medical help would be my advice.
I've suffered from postpartum psychosis and had to be institutionalised for a month because I repeatedly had visions of slicing my baby's throat from ear to ear.
You're glad you carried with this voice?
Yeah, I am.
I've
been in and out of mental institutions for the past year. I hate it so much. I didn't think I was capable of the thoughts I've been having. I scare myself more and more every day with the same thing that I am becoming. Sometimes I feel I am truly disconnected from myself, a totally different person sometimes. I am capable of murder as this other person. I am truly hellbound. Yes, as a former Satanist, but it also started with Bloody Mary. I think, if you all think it's a harmless child's game, but I warn you it's so much more. Don't open that portal. Children, please listen and be warned. This is not a game. It's by Amanda.
Yeah, do you think
Hi Amanda, thanks for getting in touch.
You think that was written by a vicar? No, I am very clearly a drug-addicted lady person, and yes, of course I practice Satanism.
I've been Dungeons and Dragons, and I listen to the Iron Maidens.
I listen to some rocking music. Don't go down that path.
And I'm very much a fan.
I am a 29-year-old woman called Amanda
of the Cypress Hills,
yes.
Who I believe are popular amongst the fans of rapture music. Yeah, so that one went up a notch.
No, more rapture. Yeah, that feels very much like somebody with a religious agenda.
Do you reckon it was someone from the alt-right? Do you reckon it was...
It might not. I mean, it could just be a well-meaning but slightly confused religious person who wants to, Yeah. Again, it's that, the whole Dungeons and Dragons thing. I think,
Do you think it was a member of the Proud Boys? Got to do something if you're not fapping.
He's been on Twitter already to abuse various people.
This is his only outlet now. Literally. The only outlet of frustration. This and the gun range.
Oh, good Lord.
So, I think that's pretty much Bloody Mary for you now. There's some examples for you. It's not a great story, but it's something which everyone's heard of. So, shall we go through our scoring system?
Yes,
which I believe has recently been adopted by diamond magnates De Beers to work out the value of diamonds which they get from.
The spookiness is inherent in the way that they have got to get hold of the diamonds,
and the falseness that diamonds are actually rare when they're not.
And the narrative is very much the way they try and spin that
into being a romantic gesture. I mean, you say that, but you're wearing diamond studs in your ears.
Oh yeah, well I'm carrying around this diamond-tipped diamond.
Gift from DJ Khaled.
Excellent diamonds from De Beers. Yeah. Don't mind if I do.
Gift from Khaled?
Maybe.
Maybe
there's a detente. There's a relationship thawing out a little bit. Don't know. See where it goes.
It's good. Glad to hear it. So, Neil, spookiness. You can go first.
I mean, it's kind of a spooky one. I mean, something coming out there, and I like the idea as well, because it's one of those things where people are quite driven to try and emulate it, and of course, it's another one of these things as well, where I guess the rules are so nebulous that you can always be like, well, actually, maybe we didn't say the right things or what have you. So I think. I mean, the one thing is, there's no. out of those stories you've read, there's nobody really coming to any particular harm or what happened. Well, no, actually, I say that, but there was a drowning. Actually,
this person's gone mad.
That person really is having a lot of issues.
A lot of people had cut arms.
If I didn't believe it was just so I think it's quite spooky. Actually. I think it'd be quite scary. So the idea of, and I think it's as well, it's the fact that you've kind of brought it on yourself.
Yeah.
So. You couldn't resist just trying it out.
You do.
Yeah, that's what really hurts. So I think it's spooky. It's seeing something terrifying and then knowing that you sort of brought that on by yourself. So I'm going to give it I'm going to go quite high on this one. I'm going to give it a 8.
8, lovely. Yeah. So mirrors are mirrors are nice and stuff during the day. They can be a bit spooky at night because they create movement in the dark. And I don't know, there is. I think
we're hardwired. If you think we see something out the corner of our eye,
because it's safe for safety.
Panic mode. Yeah.
So mirrors are, and I don't know. There is. I don't know whether it's stories or what, or whether there's just a natural kind of thing. But mirrors do have they've got another world.
There's a lot of folklore about things, going into, especially because I think. Mirrors, you go back to ancient times, it would have just been a bit of polished brass, something you can't really see something very well.
Yeah.
So when they were making like something that actually, was a mirror reflection, that probably would have looked like a portal into another world. So you had all this folklore springing up about being able to go through mirrors into fairylands and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think mirrors are quite spooky themselves. The idea of something popping up in a mirror is very scary.
Right? Classic horror trope.
Yeah. Bang. Oh fuck. Right, that would be that's really. I think it's So, and it's quite violent. Chucks babies at you. Think fast.
Yeah,
got to catch it. Soft hands. Got to bring the baby in.
Why don't you just volley the baby back?
Bicycle kick.
Just a golf clap. Disappears in the smoke.
Bang. Next baby.
Well played.
I think this is a big one, and I think that. Within the spooky zeitgeist, because people do this at summer camp and all, have tried it and stuff as teenagers, you can imagine there's a lot of spookiness in the air around it.
You're that age, everything's kind of hyper, kind of hormones and all the rest of it. It's you know what I mean.
Yeah, your hormones are spooky. So I'm going to give it an 8. Is that the same as you now?
Yes, it is.
Lovely. So believability. So, I believe 100% that people do it. I think I've done it, to be honest. This or Candyman. I've done something similar. Didn't manage to get any spooks, but,
Or did you?
Or did I? Which one happened to me?
Things working out as well as you liked?
Not bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not bad. Better now you're here, Neil.
That's good.
Put it that way. So people definitely do it. Do I believe in the spirit itself? Probably not. Do I believe that there was a historical Mary in the Tudor family? Yes, I do. There's quite a lot of evidence to support that. Do I believe that there was a nutter in Hungary who was murdering loads of peasants? Yes, I do. So believability is quite high if you take out the actual thing. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7 for believability now.
Oh, fair enough. I kind of split out because I think people, with the whole kind of who is Bloody Mary, I think people assigned all that stuff quite afterwards.
That was the ill-conceived follow-up to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, wasn't it? Who is Bloody Mary?
Who is Bloody Mary? Yeah, that tanked. Obviously, don't believe that that you can summon some demonic creature from a mirror, despite what whoever that last one. Amanda.
You're doubting Amanda,
but I haven't done it myself, so that can't really say.
Got a leg to stand.
I haven't got a leg to stand on. I haven't sort of examined the evidence myself, but so no, not really believing it from that front or from any of the stories, but it's one of those ones where. People can't help but try it, and I think if you did sort of think you saw something in the corner of your eye, that would kind of like spook you a bit. So I think that leads into the believability a little bit. And as you say, there are some historical figures, but I'm going to give it a 5. I think
5. Okay.
Because I don't believe in the crux of it, but
well, Neil, this is going to be higher, isn't it? Because your next one to comment on is reach.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be a big one for me. I think. I don't know how commonly known it's done outside of America and Europe, but it's. I mean, again, it's one that I've heard of, which is very rare for these. Mm-hmm. That always makes me think it's going to be higher. I don't know how long it's been around for, but it feels like a 20th century folklore phenomenon, but I don't know. I mean, it's probably when he first started having sleepovers and things like that. Yeah, because that's probably not something that was happening much, prior to that. So it's probably where a lot of this has come from. But yeah, it
would have just been the workhouses, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would have been your sleepover.
Not allowed to see your kids. You haven't worked hard enough.
Your sleepover would be underneath a cotton machine.
You've got enough fucking horrors trying to pick cotton out without breaking all your limbs. So stop worrying about Bloody Mary. So yeah, 20th century thing, I would imagine. So not massive, looking far back, but I think it's one that will persist. So yeah, gonna go. I think reach-wise, they're going to give this an 8.
8. Yeah. So this has got loads of films and TV and stuff about it. So I mean. It's surprisingly difficult to find people's stories about having done it, but I've got there in the end. But I mean, it's all over the internet and stuff. I think it's pretty well known. I don't think it's very old, so that's going to take it down a little bit for me. And I'm not sure that it's all over the world. I mean, I don't think. Again, I always think to myself, would my mum have heard of it? And for saying to be a 10.
Yeah, to be like a Loch Ness monster or a kind of Bigfoot.
So I think the fact that it's fairly new, even though it's very ubiquitous.
Well, there's a Vice article that was written from someone in Mumbai they'd heard of it. So it has spread.
It's spread.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to give it a 7. So, narrative / premise. So, the premise is kind of it's an incantation sort of in a mirror, isn't it? That's basically your premise. So that kind of, the summonings. So that's the kind of, with the skeleton of it. So that's good. Being able, kind of, and I like the fact that it's kind of, the stories tend to be around, idiot kid. So it's almost like, so you've got your rock-ons, and it's really difficult to summon stuff, But there's like this one that's really
fucking easy. There's a starter recipe.
Yeah, but it's really easy, but it's quite dangerous. Yeah. And it tends to be sort of idiot kids who kind of do it, and then, stuff happens to them. So, yeah, I think that's good. And it's kind of a blank canvas. You can kind of do what you want with it. Candyman's similar. Not much to say, really. I mean, there's not a big... You can kind of do what you want with it narrative-wise. There's no kind of one narrative, is there? I mean,
no.
1 minute, an old rotten woman's turning up, next minute she's burning down your fucking shower curtains. Do you know what I mean?
Good Lord.
Then drowning you, turning up in your car, turning up to work, trying to get down to football when you're meeting the lads.
And then she just started really, undermining me.
Coming down the pub on a Friday when I'm trying to hang around with my friends. So, I'm going to give it an 8-0.
Yeah, so I think it's quite a high one for this one for me as well. As you say, there's not like loads of twists and stuff in the story, but then that's like a classic folklore thing where it's simple enough and it has enough of a basis that you can spin it in many different directions. So yeah, I actually really like the movie Candyman. I think that's obviously incredibly based on this kind of thing. Although kind of mirror stuff's been around for quite a while, I think.
Yeah.
Or the idea of gateways to in and out of various different things, but. This is quite a nice classic bit of folklore, quite a nice little twist. It's simple enough, but it's got enough elements that you can take it in a lot of different directions. So, it's going to be, it'll be an 8 for me as well, Chris.
Wow, and that gives us an overall total of 59, which is very high. Very high indeed.
Highest, but yeah.
One of our highest. So
I think it'll be one of the big hitters.
Yeah, well, that's an end of series big hitter, isn't it? And so if you want to leave any comments or suggest anything that we look at in the next series, so what we're going to do to delineate between the two series is we'll give it a little week's break. So we will be back on the 2nd of June. Nice summertime. Ooh, summertime series.
Hopefully we're in some good weather by then.
Yeah, well, it's all right at the moment.
That's true, yes.
But if you want to get in contact, it's herb, which is urb.legends.podcast@gmail.com. And we're going to be back with each series. We have a fresh new sound and a fresh new look. And, I think you'll be pleasantly confused by the new one. What we like to do is confuse people until they kind of understand what's going on.
Well, much like Bloody Mary herself.
Very much like Bloody Mary.
Keep people on their toes.
Keep them on their toes. Keep, boxing clever.
Yeah.
Rope-a-dope. That kind of... That's all.
Other things, as Muhammad Ali said.
Yeah.
Sting like a butterfly.
Yeah, float like a fish.
Be like an elephant. Yeah.
Be like an elephant. Yeah. That's
Never forget.
But yeah, enjoy your week without having an episode. I am pretty sure that if you wanted to, you could go back and listen to the other ones because no one's listened to all of them. So there's plenty of shit out there. I wouldn't listen to more than one in a day though, else you go mad.
Well, we might think about doing some best ofs as well. Maybe do some clips or something.
You might think of that.
Well,
I
might have a go
for you, mate. You haven't edited one yet.
I edited one. We didn't use it, but I might put together some clips. But
clip show.
Yeah.
The refuge of the tired creative mind.
Sneak preview season 3's all clips.
Okay, well, enjoy your week off, and we'll be back with series 3 on the 2nd of June. So stay safe and don't do any incantations.
Yeah, listen to the lady's name I've already forgotten, who probably was
Amanda. Right, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.